going on, everyone? Pressure 7 here. Just finished off a trip on the Mission Belle out of Point Loma Sport Fishing. The Yellowtail trip. Caught a few yellows. Gonna break one down right now. I typically have them remove the gills and guts on the boat, so I don't have to deal with that. It's just, you know, extra trash, and it can get pretty funky if you're cleaning fish and your trash day is like later on in the week. So let's get to it. And here they are. Let's see, I think I'll do this one first. Oh, not that one. This one. Let's put this guy back inside. Three more in there. This will be the first one. Of course, we get home pretty late, so unless you get your fish filleted on the boat, or I was talking to somebody about getting his fish done, having them slabbed. So he doesn't have to deal with too much when he gets home. But of course I told him to keep the collars and the head, you know. It's good for barbecue and stuff. And for this one I'm just gonna section it off and cut the collars off and give it to my uncle. That's what he wants. So I don't know what these are. I should look them up. But they're little parasites, or like little leeches. Check them out. They're on these yellowtail all the time. They get stuck in my cooler. They're on the bodies. They got little teeth. I see them in my cooler all the time. When I'm cleaning my cooler out, I'm gonna do that whole YouTube thing. If you know what these are, put them in the comment section below. They're like little leech parasites. See it? There, I can feel it trying to grab onto me. Anyways, let me check the other side real quick. Let's see any more. So let's get to it. Like and subscribe preferably. Be great. I'd like to hit that 1,000 and keep bringing you guys content. Eventually, I'd like to get a boat and do more fishing. So, okay, so I'm just gonna section this fish off, probably like right here, and then work my way down. Easiest way I would say to do it is to find the spine right in here, and at the ball of the spine is like, kind of looks like hourglasses, and they're stacked on top of each other. Right, so at the stack where the hourglasses are stacked, that's where you can slice through. That would be the easiest way. So I know there's some straight bones in here, because at this part right here, at this bottom fin, there's a bone that comes straight across. See that right there? That's the bone that comes straight across. Almost, but it's right there. That's, you see, like right there and there. I was pretty close, so I'm not gonna kill myself over that, but yeah, very close. So just gonna cut right through, and it just slices right through, except for that bone right there. Let's get some scissors and cut that. I'll just flip this guy over. Get a nice slice straight through. I'm sure my uncle will be pleased with that. I'm just gonna vacuum seal this whole tail. And this is just for my uncle because he wants it sectioned off. So I'm gonna section this off for him nice. So it's looking like it's right here. Okay, that top of the hourglass section that I was mentioning. So I can't even clean it up to like show you, but you're just gonna have to trust me. Okay. And you can feel around for it too, so. See, it's right there, right in between. And then just go straight after it. Okay, and then slice down right through those ribs. Here, you already got through it. See that hourglass right there? Okay. You already got through it, so you just gotta go through it the rest of the way. There's a spine right here, or from this dorsal fin. Cut that. Then you just go straight down, straight through the belly. There you go. So let's see, rib cage. There's a joint right here and a joint right here. So that would look like that, a slice like that. Okay. And then we'll get one more right here. See right here, you can kind of see it much easier. Here, I'll show you. See, right there. Right at this spot right here. That's what we'll do our next one. But we're gonna cut this collar off right here. I'm gonna cut right here, cut this belly off. Right. And then have this section cut off too. The collar, take the collar off. So the meat part will kind of be like just right here. Right here, and then we'll do right here. So we'll have a section right here, section right here, cut the collar off, pack up the two collars, pack up the head. My uncle wants a head, so I'll give it to the man. Okay, so here's that section right here. See how it just goes right inside. See, if you're trying to push through the bone, you can't. You push right through the top of that hourglass section right there. And then you can just let it have it, cut straight down. Through those bones. Okay. Turn this up. Follow your line, right? Straight down. And you made it through that hourglass part already. So now you just have to go straight down. Get through those bones. There, easy peasy. That's 2. Okay, so careful, there's a bone right here, so you might not want to cut through there. So we said we're going to do this part right here, so we'll have another slice like that. Or should I go higher? Right there. Okay, it's all your personal preference. You can make shorter ones. You're just gonna have to find the spot. Okay, because you don't want to have to break out a saw for any of this stuff, you know? Okay, so let's just make a nice thick one right here. So you can see the joints right here. Let's get out this knife and clear this up for you. Okay. Because these are big fish, right? And when I slab up the fish for if I'm making sushi, because I'll do a whole yellowtail sushi. Okay, now you can see that little hourglass. So here's the top of the hourglass. It kind of like dips in like an hourglass, and then here's the top of the hourglass. Okay, dips in. There's the top of the hourglass. Same thing. Boom, it's right there. Boom, it's right here. All right, look, see, it just goes straight in. Okay, look. Got that? Whereas if you're hitting the bone, you ain't going anywhere. Okay? Okay, so we're gonna cut right here. We're gonna do this big one right here. So boom, that just cuts straight through. Just like that. Okay. Now, see, we're already out right here. Okay. Just cut this down. Make sure you have a nice sharp knife so you can cut through these rib bones right here. Okay. Careful right here because there's some bone structure right here. You don't want to make your life difficult. Okay, I'm gonna do this as easy as possible. Does this look easy? It might not, but once you start, you know, if you've ever worked with fish before or broken down a big fish like this, it's really not that difficult. Okay, so we're gonna cut down. Okay, make sure you're getting where you want to go. There. Through here. There's our cut. Get under here. And this might be easier with a thin knife, so we can start that slice right there. There. Cut, cut, done. Now, like I said, if that's too thick, there's another section right here. You can feel it once you start working with these things. we can have another strip right here because it's right here. See, right there. And there's your cut. See, we're in there. That would be a cut right there. Okay, right here. Just like that, from this part right here. Boom. Okay, does that make sense? I hope it does. Let me do this collar real quick. Okay. And then I will vacuum seal these things up. So, for the collar, if you look closely, this is the collar, 2 collars, right? Okay. Sharp knife. You want to cut. You're gonna have this big chunk of meat right here too. Okay. Unless you try to cut everything. So, as far as the collar, I like to cut right, I think it's right here. I want to say it's right here. You guys are going to kill me, huh? If I'm wrong. Okay. Okay, collar. So this part right here, you could see it. It's like armor right there, but I would say it's kind of like their shoulder blade, collarbone. But you want to get your knife under that. Okay. Now, same thing. You just work your way up and cut back. Work your way up. Okay, and then cut back. Boom. 2 collars. Head. We're gonna vacuum seal this whole head. We're gonna vacuum seal these collars together. I'm gonna vacuum seal the tail. Bam, bam, bam. Body, body, body. What's that? Collars. See, nice clean cut. There's your fish. There's your collar. That's one whole yellowtail. Vacuum sealed, ready to go, split between family. You can even cut them into thinner steaks, right? I didn't scale it in case you want to do barbecue or whatnot, but that's it in a nutshell, you guys. I will be doing a full video as well on prepping one for sushi. Sushi, sashimi. I've done it plenty of times. Plenty of eating while it's going on. Make sure your knives are sharp. Make sure that you have a little trash pile. Okay. Have paper towels. I covered this counter with plastic wrap twice, so once this is all done, I'm gonna break down one more fish. Okay, so we did that one fish. We're gonna do these other. I caught 4 on the trip. Let's get this other one out of here. Was on the Mission Belle for St. Patrick's Day. Staples easily come out, just like so. of the cutting board. Used all my luck touching these things. Through. Okay, we'll cut this collar off right here. Too well. There, that's all she wrote. They want the collars on, so I'll leave them on. Okay, you guys, we did the breakdown of the Yellowtail in sections. I'm gonna slab this one up. This next one, one of the 4 Yellowtail I caught on St. Patrick's Day. Check out the video. Let's get to it. I actually scaled this one because I've never done it before. I just did it real quick with a knife in the cooler, so you see a bunch of the scales here. Let's get all the ice out of his head. Okay. And let's try to clean him up a little bit. So this is how I do it. You can always get your fish slabs on the boat or whatnot, but I just like to do it myself at home. So and you just want to keep some pressure on top of that center bone right there. Okay, let's flip this guy around. Now same thing right here, just split them open and then kind of work your way down onto that center bone. Okay, and we're going to want to find that rib cage right there that's connected to the spine. Bam, 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 a couple more. I think that's it. Okay, remember, these aren't nice shears, okay? So get yourself some shears. It's just what I have at where I'm at right now. Yeah. And where we stuck at? Right here. Okay. There. Nice and clean, nice and close. One slab. No scales. I'm just gonna do this next one real quick and go through it. I'm probably gonna eat this right here with some soy sauce. With some soy sauce. This part right here. That one section right here, I cut a little too deep. I went under these bones right here, but I still should be okay on the other side because it doesn't look like I damaged too much of this shoulder meat right here. Okay, so I'm gonna flip this over. I should have left it on while I did the other side, but before I completely committed. But I wanted you guys to see how that worked out as far as getting the cut. And the reason why I wanted to leave it on is because see how now this is kind of lopsided without the other side of the body on there. So we're just gonna do the same thing. Okay, make your cut all the way to the top. Okay, and then you want to get this collar like right there. Okay, look at that. Look at that right there. Okay, and we can start right here, do the same thing, and just get as close as possible to that top spine. Hopefully we'll be okay without that. The other side off. See how I mangled some of that flesh right there? But I think the rest of the way I'm doing okay. Okay, just get in here. Next. 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 Just make sure you're pulling up so you don't mangle that meat. Okay. Snack. Come back up here. Stay close to the spine, and this thing is just gonna come right off. We're still stuck right here somewhere. And that's all she wrote. Okay. Here's our slab. Boom. Okay. Now, these are those hourglass spots that I was telling you about when you're cutting them in sections for people. Okay, there has to be some way to tell from the outside, but I don't think so. So it looks like an hourglass to me. That's the best example I can give. So So the hourglass is stacked on top of each other, right? It dips in, comes out, dips in, comes out. And that part where they're stacked, that part just cuts right through. Okay. Now, you could do the rest with this. You could do the rest for this. Throw it on the barbecue, some salt and pepper. Right? I mean, look how close to the bone I got. Very little wasted meat. And I scaled it too. So we have scaled yellowtail. I'm gonna fry it, see how it turns out. Okay. And that's all she wrote, you guys. Let's do the prep for sushi on the next one. For this one, I'm just gonna slice them in sections as well. And sorry, I'm like, okay. So for the collar, same thing. I'm just gonna cut the collar off. Let's just do that real quick right now. And you can get rid of this if you're not gonna throw it on the barbecue or whatever. Boom. And then for this part, we'll just break it right here. We don't want to manhandle it because you don't want blood splatter everywhere. Okay. Just make things much more simpler. There. Very little waste. Throw this on the barbecue, you know, pick at it, you know, eat with your friends, eat by yourself, right? Some salt and pepper. That's all you need really for this stuff. Sorry I made a mess of it, but throw it on the barbecue, salt and pepper. This stuff right here, that little, what is that? The bone marrow, I would say. Fire. Okay, let's do these collars real quick. I'm gonna do this. Poor man's sashimi, right? Okay, let's get this off so I can wrap this one up. Collar, you guys remember? I would say that's what? Shoulder blade. Okay, get right under it. It's not difficult. And cut through, because there's only 2 on the fish. Not that it's difficult to get off, right? Okay, so same thing. Make that cut with the shoulder blade, cut back, boom. 2 collars, head, thank you. I'm going to vacuum seal these, the head, cut these off in sections. I'll probably cut off all this right here, just so it's nice and clean for the fridge. You know, all this right here. Here. And you just work it back. Might as well show you guys, right? when I do my sushi sashimi, I cut all this white off so I can, right behind the rib cage, so I can eat all that belly right there. Okay. There. I don't want to make a mess, but I'm making a mess. Okay. Have your trash pile. And there. That's all done. Here, see? Nice and clean. Cut my hand, huh? Okay. Here. Last paper towel. Boom. One clean slab. What do you want? This is what you want. This is why we go out there, right? I'm gonna do the same to this one. Get all that blood off. Get this little membrane off. Not all of it, because we eat all of it, right? And that's it. Hope you guys enjoy. We will do the sushi sashimi for the big whopper that's in here. She's a big one. You'll see them soon. Until next time, you guys. Okay, we got one more fish to do. We're going to do the biggest fish of the day. And this one we're just gonna slice up for all sushi sashimi. So we're gonna slab it up, cut out the bloodline, and get it all nice and clean. That'll be that. Okay. Take your time. There's a rib cage right here. Couple more. Okay. There. Actually cut my hand. There, where they gaffed him. Okay, we're gonna do 4 strips with this slab. So 2 here, 2 on the other one. We're gonna clean all this belly off and we'll cut out all this bloodline. Okay, so we'll start like this, and don't worry about cleaning it, just start breaking it down. Now cut right down the bone, right there, just that line right there. Okay, we'll work on this one first. You see all the blood line right here? So we're gonna cut right along this rib cage right here. Right underneath it. All the way down. I'm going to try to save as much of this meat as possible. just work the rest of this off with the knife. So there's no more rib cage. Let's see if I can get a nice clean one all the way through. Or just cut the belly off, no deal with it, but I think it's worth it. grab that knife. Just take your time, not trying to lose any fingers. There. Pretty good on that other belly. Okay, so all this bloodline's gotta go. But you get as much of that blood off that you can, because the blood tends to deteriorate the flesh. So, and you can do all this, and you got as much of that bloodline off as possible. And that's a wrap, you guys. Pressure 7 here. Hope you guys enjoyed. I know it was a long video. Hope it helped out anyone out there. Until next time, you guys. See you guys out there.